recent political upheaval in the Malaysian state of Sabah has only served to strengthen the hand of Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad. And Mahathir continues to flex his muscles overseas as well, standing firm on his ban of government contracts for British firms. Joining me now is Edgar Ridley. He is a consultant who deals with companies doing business in Malaysia. Edgar, welcome to Business Asia. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Take an overall look here at the Prime Minister. He's getting very authoritarian lately, both at home and abroad. What's happening?
Well, I think it's important to understand Malaysia's outlook in terms of the West and Europe. He feels that the British they're arrogant, and he wants to make clear that this is a new day in terms of doing business, and that the non-white world is ready to do business on a worldwide scale.
Well, now he was upset with Prime Minister Keating of Australia. He was obviously upset with President Clinton of the United States since he didn't show up at the APEC meeting in Seattle. Is he winning any friends this way?
Well, he's just trying to make clear the picture that he understands that the West is arrogant, and he doesn't want Malaysia to be another Africa. So he's making clear that it's really not an ego problem, but he just wants to be equal among his peers.
How do his peers in the rest of ASEAN feel about this?
Well, there's one thing about Malaysia, that it has to be clear in terms of its own human rights record. They have to understand that there can be no division within Kuala Lumpur or Sabah in terms of ethnic problems, race, or religion. And if that is the case, then I think that they will grow economically and politically. They're one of the fastest growing countries in the world now, and I think that they really have to cover their bases very carefully.
Psychologically speaking, KL really has never gotten over the trauma of the communal riots of some decades ago between Malays and Chinese. Are we heading perhaps toward the same situation in Sabah, which is primarily ethnic Chinese and Christian indigenous people, as opposed to the Muslim Malays on the peninsula?
That's the problem there. I don't see Malaysia becoming another India, but I do see them having problems in terms of Islam, Christianity, and some of the other Eastern religions. They cannot afford to have intertribal conflict and warfare. This is extremely important. If they do fall into that superstitious realm of intertribal welfare and conflict, it'll destroy their economy.
Some big ifs here. If there were something like this to happen, if there were intercommunal conflict, do you think the Prime Minister would crush it with military force, or would he try to negotiate it?
I hope that's not going to be the case. I really hope that the Prime Minister will settle this in a peaceful and intelligent way. It's going to be a tremendous theological, psychological problem, but he has to deal with it. He cannot afford to have different theological concepts within the cults to come up and cause conflict. It just cannot happen. It will totally destroy the economic position that Malaysia is in now.
The Prime Minister, because Sabah withdrew its support for his political party, withdrew development aid from Sabah, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. How can he think this is much of a victory now that he's gotten rid of his opposition in Sabah when he did it by damaging the state's economy?
That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. I think that was not the way to go. He should have had dialogue instead of forcing his rivals to come to the peace table. So I really think that he has to rethink that kind of activity.
Let's go backward. One final question to this situation with the British. Does he have a case here that the British press has been unfair to him, and that the British government is linking aid to weapons sales?
I think he has a case. And when you look at the overall picture, and when you look at the British and the West treatment of Africa and other Asian Asian countries, I think that he wants to make clear that Malaysia will not be treated as a second-class country in the world stage.
All right. Edgar, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Edgar Ridley, President of Edgar J. Ridley and Associates. In Business Asia, we'll be back after Ted Texter takes a look at weather around the globe.